Would you like to comment on the Vancouver real estate market at the present?
Yeah, we had a great debate, Rob and I, earlier about that today. Well, the headlines are, of course, that Vancouver's bubble just continues, and everybody explains one more reason why it's getting more and more dangerous. I think, at the end of the day, the challenge for Vancouver is this, is that as long as this is an attractive place for foreign capital to come into, and as long as it, we have in this country a very high immigration policy in relation to our population, the pressure on Vancouver real estate is unlikely to abate anytime soon. But there are two markets in Vancouver. There's the detached housing market, and Rob and I were talking about this earlier today. In Vancouver proper, there probably haven't been any net new houses built in 30 or 40 years, because every house that's torn down is replaced, but you've lost the house that was torn down. And other houses are torn down to build townhouses or condos. So the cost of detached housing has risen at a much faster rate than the cost of apartments and townhouses. There are these two different marketplaces, and so a lot of it depends on what you're defining as a housing market in Vancouver, and also what you're defining as Vancouver, because obviously your markets are different in Langley or Surrey than they are in Vancouver proper. So I wouldn't think Vancouver proper detached housing is going to likely drop anytime soon.
Thank you. The only thing I would add is that Vancouver is an extreme. I'm amazed at how high Vancouver's gotten. But, house prices in the rest of Canada have also been going up. And so it's a question of, worldwide, when you look at Canadian leverage, it's a question of can that continue and what the implications are. And what makes the housing market correct is either higher unemployment or higher interest rates. And, up until this point, we haven't really seen a reason to worry about either of those. So what people are worried about, though, right now is with what's happening in Alberta, what's happening with oil, you could make the case for, at least regionally, higher unemployment rate. So that's one thing to be worried about. And then, with Vancouver, because it is such a separate market, it's trying to judge what's going to happen going forward with capital flows, foreign money coming into the city.
The Vancouver market that I was asking about is the city of Vancouver.
The city of Vancouver.
I was in the States last week, and I dropped everything to come here because our son sold his home in Vancouver, went to bid on a $1.2 million property in Burnaby, was outbid $200,000. A second property outbid $200,000. Then this Goonie property on 26th Avenue in Maine sold for $567,000 over a list price of $1.6 million. I'm 60. I haven't seen this kind of a Goonie market anywhere.
Yeah, I sympathize with your son's position. I think it seems to me, and I'm not a real estate agent, but my understanding is that the way that they play the market now, and the way, at least in a seller's market, is that they, in many cases, intentionally list a property below what they know it's going to sell for, and then tell the other realtors, essentially, that they can submit bids, essentially, and they better not have subjects on them. And there's a bidding war created automatically, and then they simply review the bids. So that's part of the issue, is that that's an intentional setup. It's a different way, I guess, of marketing a house. And I guess in a seller's market, that strategy seems to be working. And that may be what's gone awry here when you're looking at a specific situation like that.
But it's been going for a year.
Yeah, oh yeah, I think that this process has been going on for 3 or 4 years.
And the last bid, last week, 10 offers, and the one that they took was not the best offer. It was the one with a certified bank draft, over list, all cash, no subjects.
Yeah, and people are being coached by their own real estate agents. So you have to wonder how incestuous that whole process is. That if they want to be successful in the bidding, they better be prepared to do exactly the kinds of things you're talking about.